So you feel like you've lost some motivation after spiritually awakening? Join the club. I've done less in the last 6 or 7 years than I did in the previous 50 years of my life combined. And it feels great. I feel better than I ever have doing less. It's not a lack of motivation, really. It's not you. You're fine. You're doing great. But we're approaching our life using this lens of judgment and the criteria that we used to use in the former operating system, where everything was about will and ego and getting up in the morning and working hard and striving and effort. And that was what we called motivation. That's how you get ahead in the world. You got to get up in the morning and attack the day. If you're not doing anything, you're not motivated. But you're actually being more productive for yourself and for the planet and for the benefit of humanity than you ever have before, even if it feels like you're doing nothing. Let me explain. Thanks for dropping by the zone of Expandedness. I'm Chris, and I've been through a series of ongoing shifts, expansions, awakenings, what the fuck, realizations over the past many years of a journey. And I've also been through a heavy dose of not feeling motivated and not doing much with my day as this expansion and perspective shift, awakening has settled into my nervous system and my operating system deeper and deeper as the years go on. So why is this concept of motivation so important? As I just said, it's based on the old operating system that we used to use, and it's the operating system that 99.9% of humans are still using. It's the one that probably your parents tried to ram down your throat. It's the one we learned at school. It's the one that involves working hard, effort, will, the mind, determination, focus, and this great thing called motivation. And we look around and we see everybody else acting the same way. And those that aren't going through this phase of awakening or expansion, however you want to describe it, they're still stuck in that other operating system. So they look at you and it's like, well, what the fuck have you done in the last day, week, months, year? And you're like, well, no, nothing really. And so it's about that lingering judgment and perspective and lens that so much of this world operates on. So through that, of course, it seems like you're not doing it. And when we get into more of the flow state and we start to access this world through our intuition and not so much as our mind, then it's like wizard timing, where the wizard shows up exactly when they're supposed to. They don't make plans. They don't have a day timer that says, well, at 8:30 I'm going to get up and do my stretching exercises, and then I'm going to have a smoothie for breakfast, and then I'm going to show up for, the battle or whatever it is at 10 o'clock. It's like, no, they arrive when it's time to arrive. So using your intuition is just a different operating system. And so much of what happens to us after the awakening experience, or as it starts to settle in more and more, we start to shift our operating system from one where we are thinking and planning and using our will and our determination and effort and will to something that's more flowy. That if there's nothing to do today, there's nothing to do today. Indigenous people didn't go hunting by the calendar. They went hunting when it was time to go hunting because they knew it was time to go hunting. They knew the game would be there. They didn't go a day early because that wasn't the time to go. And with calendar apps and just the way we operate in this world, that seems like such a weird ass foreign concept. And therefore you seem to the rest of the world and even to yourself to be unmotivated. But In fact, you're even in a better state than you ever were before and getting more done than you ever did before. Because what you are doing now is not the 3D world of ambition and projects and I'm going to save the world because I'm going to create some new business or process, or I'm going to work hard and then I'm going to get some awards and some recognition, and that's how I'm going to make an impact. You know, we have had those notions and those criteria for success drilled into us, but again, old operating system. If you've shifted to this newer operating system, that doesn't necessarily apply, because what you're doing now in your more expanded, more awakened state is you are just bringing in higher vibrations into this matrix, into this collective consciousness, and damn, do we need it more than ever. We are spiraling out of control, down, 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 with effort, will, motivation, getting shit done, effort, 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 will, mind, using the mind, think and plan, get up and attack the day. And it's disconnecting us from our heart consciousness. It's disconnecting us from the deeper layers of our soul beingness. So just by hanging out in the higher dimensional, higher vibrational fields of being, sitting in your backyard on in a lawn chair, sipping iced tea, you are on some levels doing more for humanity than anybody else on your street, because you're infusing this matrix with energies that are so desperately needed, connecting to a heart-based consciousness, connecting to our intuition. How do we feel our way through this human experience and not just think our way and plan our way and use effort and will to get through this human experience? Because we know what that creates. We can look at this entire world around us and see the results that have been created using that operating system and using those qualities, being motivated, okay? When we tap into the heart and we tap into more of a flow state, it doesn't mean you're not productive. Maybe you can take a rest for a while. I certainly did. I had years of just walking my dog. My dog thought it was the greatest thing that ever happened. I quit my corporate job and we just went on a long dog walk for 6 years. He was like, this is dope. But eventually, what we call motivation and action happens again, because we're here to be creative. We are here to be creative beings. That's who we are creative beings. It's just doing it from a different frequency. So if you are feeling unmotivated, then I just challenge you to be okay with that and to be peaceful with that, and to see what you can do to just try to use this new operating system and do something different with it in a different way. And it could be plant a garden. It could go down to the animal shelter and get a dog and take it for a walk. Just go down to the water and throw sticks for a dog. There is so much that is healing along those lines that this matrix, this reality needs so much. We don't really need more motivated people right now. We need heart consciousness. We need peace. We need loving energy. My own experience is stressed out people can be assholes, and you just get into that vibration of worry, fear, stress, will, effort. So you're doing fabulous if you're not feeling motivated. You are being so productive on so many other levels. So I salute you and I encourage you to keep going and feel out new ways of being productive, of being creative, of being an impactful human on the planet. And if you're looking to take your experience deeper, I'm available. My services as a conscious coach, I work with people on their deepening, on their expansion, on how to get more out of life to be the best human you that you can possibly be, so your star shines as bright as it can in the sky. The uniqueness of you. All my contact info is down below. I'm easy to reach. So if that appeals to you, please get in contact. I'm always curious and fascinated about the different flavors of the awakening and expansion journey that everyone goes through. I always learn so much working with other people, and I enjoy it. And yeah, hit me up if that sounds like it's something for you. And subscribe to this channel for more, because I'm here talking about all these things that we're going through right now in expanded consciousness and awakening, and that we can share on our respective journeys. So thanks for stopping by the Zone of Expandedness, my friends. I'll see you again sometime. Peace. Lots of love.